today we got this in the mail, the brand new TireMinder system, the TpMs i10. It's got 10 transmitters and even a booster. We're so excited to be able to unpack it and install it and review it for you. Everybody has said that this is like supposedly super easy to install, and if anybody could mess it up, it'd be me. So let's try it. Let's do it together. Come on, let's go. Okay, so let's get this unpacked. Pull it out here. Feels pretty good quality. Look, it can actually keep track of 8 tires on here. And actually, I'm using 12 because I've got 2 on my tow car. And all you have to do is to go to the next screen and it'll keep track of those as well. Okay, so I already showed you the receiver. These are the actual transmitters. What I actually like about these are they're the brass fit, and they last longer on your valve stems, and they're not so heavy. And I'll talk about that in a little while, why that's important. But all you do is unscrew those right there, and you'll see there's a place to put in the batteries. The batteries come with it, and you just slide it right in that little hole, and we'll show you how to do that in just a second. But there's 10 of those there. And I had them send me 2 more, as you can see right here. So then they also give you this booster, and we'll just, make sure that we read the directions as to where the best place for it is. But I'm gonna need these for the tire minders on my tow vehicle. I'm gonna need this booster that pushes a signal to the receiver. Also, it comes with a nice little mount for your window. It's actually pretty quality. I thought at first it looked kind of cheap, but it's got a good weight to it. You just put it in there and put it on the window, however best to do that. So it goes in there, and there you go. And then you got a little charger, cigarette lighter charger. So there you go, that's unpacking it. Now let's take it out and install it. The most important piece is the instructions, and we're gonna go over these and make sure that we install it and see how easy it is to install and how quick it is to install, but making sure that we follow the directions, because that's kind of my nemesis. I'm kind of one of those kind of guys that just jerks the packages open and figures it out as we go. I think this time I'm gonna try following directions. One of the reasons why I'm excited to get the TireMinder is when we first got our very first motorhome, I found an off-brand TPMS tire pressure monitoring system offline somewhere, and it was good. The problem was these were much bigger and much heavier. And if you think about it, the revolutions this is turning as it's going down the road, they need to be very light. In essence, what it did is most of them broke my stem on the tires themselves, and so you ended up leaking air. So what I love that these are so much smaller, lightweight, and much more professional than what I had. The other thing is, though, even that I had, even though it was an off-brand TPMS, really helped save us a lot of money. For example, here's a story. We were in California driving down the highway, and one of these heavy monitors were slinging going down the road, and it did in fact kind of break our stem, our valve stem, and it was slowly leaking air. So all of a sudden I got a notification that I was losing air little by little, and there was a leak, and we were able to fix it and going down the highway. Now, if I hadn't have been told that, by this ahead of time, it could have blown. It could have, would have blown tire. Especially, it was my driver's front tire. that could have been a real disaster. You know, it's not just for information, it's very much a safety concern. Even if it's not your front tire, the rear tires, you've heard so many horror stories how the tire explodes up into the actual coach itself and tears out all the electronics and tears the whole siding off the coach. You know, it just, to spend the protection of this ahead of time, I think is a pretty wise investment. And I'm really grateful for TireMinder. So let's go put them on. Come on, this will be fun. So on this system, you have to attach the booster. Not just because of the length of the rig, but because of all the other signals that are out there that might interfere. So the booster allows you to get a clear signal at all times. And on a diesel pusher, which mine is, it says to make sure you're behind the tag axle and attached to the undercarriage. So I found this really wonderful spot right above my batteries, and now I'm going to attach to my 12-volt system. I got a clip here. I'm going to go back later and put this in here better, but just for showing now, just going to alligator clip it to the power there, and alligator clip it to the negative here. I've already tested this and seen that it does show green, and you can see the green right there, that it is powered up, and then I'll get a signal from that. Okay, the next part is that we need to take each one of these, unscrew the top, and take a battery, making sure that the words, the plus sign, the words are on top. You can see that the minus sign there is showing down, so the plus should be on top. So you just slide that in, just like that. Okay, after you get all the first two steps of putting on the booster, step 2, putting all the batteries in, and step 3 is to turn on the monitor. And as you turn on the monitor, you should see monitoring in the center of the display. What this means is that you are currently in monitoring mode, and the i10 is actively monitoring for tire issues. In order to receive alerts, you must be in the monitoring mode. Step 1, from monitoring mode, press and hold the left and right buttons for 5 seconds until you see an L in the center. Okay, so what we'll do is press and hold the left and right buttons. Okay, it says L, okay. Now this side's blinking right there. You can see it blinking or flashing. This is the current tire pressure, so that's telling me where to put my first TPMS. All right, so as you can see, I got the L in here, and this is flashing. So this is telling me front first tire is where I should put my first TPMS. So that's what we're gonna do right here. I'll just unscrew here. And we'll put this right over the top of it. And you'll hear air coming out and then go right back. And there it goes. It's telling me I got 95 PSI right there. So that's already monitoring. Now I'm sure we hit the next, and it is flashing to the next. I really hurt my finger. It's flashing over here to the right side, so let's go over there and put it on the right side now. So this is the front passenger tire. And she's just literally just screwing it on. You hear the air come off, and then immediately it says 94 pounds of pressure, PSI. A little bit interesting here is that it shows your outside dual and your inside dual. Outside is flashing inside. So it's important to know of, obviously you would, which of your valves are for what. So this system already comes with an extender or a bracket for your inside dual. And on mine, I don't need it because it's already sitting up perfectly fine. So this is my inside dual and this is my outside dual. So the first one that is being flashing is for my outside dual. So that's the one we're gonna do first. So let's take that off of there and just put it right on there. Okay, and that's showing 95. Now we're gonna flash over to the inside dual. That's flashing is the inside tire. So we'll take that off there. And there it goes, 96. I would recommend that before you do this, that you make sure all your tires are up to the proper cold PSI. Because on some of these, I'm gonna have to, on the way out of town, I'm gonna have to stop at a truck stop and put air in these tires. And you take, to get to the stems, you have to take these off and then, you know, obviously add air and then put them back on. It's no big deal, but it's just kind of an extra step. But for this video, I just wanted to show you how to actually put them on and how simple it really is. All right, so now I've got all 8 of my tires on the front coach registered and learning. They've learned all the tire pressures, and now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do my tow car. I've got 4 more for the tow. And so I just scroll over, hit the right, scroll over, hit there, and that gives me my driver's side front tire. Now, once all the tires pressures are learned, now we need to get it back into monitoring system. And the way you monitor system is you just hit the 2 buttons at the same time until monitoring comes back on. And that tells you what all of your, it's monitoring currently all your tires. There's the rear. And then it'll go and scroll back to the front. Well, I'm excited to review this wonderful product. We drove about 3.5 hours on a pretty warm day and was able to see that the tires came up to pressure, came up to the higher PSI. The front tires were registering at about 110, which is correct. The rear tire stayed at about 100, which is correct. Even this system even keeps track of the temperature. If it gets too hot, it'll give you warnings. If the tire pressure gets beyond the scope, it'll give you warnings. We got no warnings, and it kept track of every tire, including the tires on our tow car. I really found that that's very an ease of mind for me to know that my tow car, I can have these TPMS on there as well, because I had been running non-flat or no flat tires just because I didn't want to take the chance of that. So that's going to be able to save me some quite a bit of money next time I go to change tires. So just thought that this was it was a very good system, and I could see it clearly the entire time I was driving. I put it right by the window, right by my GPS system. There are 3 different systems that you can purchase, and I chose the middle one because I felt like it was financially more doable, and it made more sense. It was in my range that I could afford, but also I felt like it's more what you guys would probably choose, the majority of you would choose as well. I think for the price range, I think it's well worth the money, just to have the ease of mind and to know that you're able to truly monitor at all times the pressure and the heat of the tires. It really did feel like a load off of my mind while we were traveling. Gale and I highly recommend TireMinder to you. Have a great day, and be coming back and checking out some of our other videos, and we'll do more product reviews. And during this time, actually filming this is during the COVID-19 outbreak, I've got a whole new series that I'm doing where I'm interviewing business people, and I'm going to interview someone from TireMinder in the next couple of weeks or so. But just talking about how to not just survive this, but to thrive during it. Realize that this too shall pass, and that we'll be able to get back to some sense of normality. We just got some really good news from TireMinder. They said that if you guys would like to get the same system or any of the 3 systems that they offer, they would give me a code, and if you ordered with using this code, they'll give you a significant discount. And I'm telling you, it's really a good discount. So just click below, use that code, and order yours today. Thank you, TireMinder. You guys are great. I love your product. Keep it up. Bless y'all. Bye-bye.